You ever have one of those days where the world just slaps you in the face, and you're left standing there, wondering how it all went so wrong? That's exactly what happened to Maya Thompson, a black woman who'd built an empire from the ground up, only to get treated like a nobody at her own damn airport. Picture this: a stormy afternoon at Hudson Valley Airport, rain hammering the tarmac, and Maya, fresh off closing a nine-figure deal in Paris, stepping out of her sleek Bentley, heels clicking, ready to unwind in her own VIP lounge before her private jet takes off. But the second she walks up to the lounge, the manager, Greg Harper, gives her this look like she's wandered into the wrong neighborhood. "Ma'am, this is for first-class passengers only," he says, voice dripping with that fake polite venom. "Can you show me your boarding pass and ID?" Maya, cool as ever, raises an eyebrow. She's been coming here for years, usually at odd hours to avoid the fuss, and nobody's ever questioned her. She hands over her platinum card and pass, but Greg holds them up like he's inspecting a fake Rolex, muttering loud enough for everyone to hear. "These don't look right. You sure you're supposed to be here?" The nerve, right? Maya stays calm, says, "I assure you they're real," but Greg's already waving her outside, pointing to the rain-soaked glass doors. "Wait out there while I verify. Gotta protect our high-end clients." So there's Maya, standing in the pouring rain, her tailored coat getting soaked, watching as Greg ushers in a white guy in a suit without even checking his ID. "Good afternoon, Mr. Reynolds. Right this way," he says, all smiles. Meanwhile, Maya's out there, cold, humiliated, every drop of rain feeling like a jab at her pride. 20 minutes crawl by, and Greg finally lets her in, but not without a smug, "We'll be watching you closely." Oh, you can feel the sting. Here's a woman who owns the whole damn airline, being treated like she's sneaking into a club she doesn't belong to. Inside the lounge, it doesn't get better. Greg whispers to an attendant, loud enough for Maya to hear, "Keep an eye on her. Something's off." Maya sinks into a leather chair, her face calm, but her mind Rasinga storms brewing inside her, bigger than the one outside. She's not just mad for herself. She's thinking of every person who's ever been judged for how they look, every time someone's been made to feel small. Greg, though he's convinced he's got it all figured out. 10 years running this lounge, he thinks he's got a sixth sense for real, middle-aged white guys in Armani, not a black woman, no matter how sharp her suit or steady her gaze. Then it escalates. Maya heads to her private jet, a gleaming Falcon worth millions, but the head flight attendant, Sarah Coleman, steps in front of her like a bouncer. "This is a private aircraft," Sarah snaps, eyeing Maya's damp coat and elegant heels like they're proof she's out of place. "You sure you're not lost? Commercial terminals that way." Maya, still composed, hands over her boarding pass, but Sarah doesn't even look at it, just laughs. "A trip on this jet costs $80,000. You really think you're on the list?" The ground crew's watching, a few snickering, others looking away, too spineless to step in. Sarah calls for security, and Greg rushes over, backing her up. "Leave now, ma'am, or we'll make you." That's when Maya's had enough. She pulls out her phone, her voice low but sharp as a blade. "Claire, get me Marcus and the board now. We've got a problem at Hudson Valley." Sarah scoffs. "Oh, please, who are you calling?" But there's a flicker of doubt in her eyes. Maya doesn't blink, just stares them down. "You sure you want to keep this up? 'Cause this call's about to change everything." Minutes later, Marcus Thompson, Maya's brother and the COO, storms in with a team of lawyers and security. The air gets heavy, like the rain's holding its breath. Marcus's eyes lock on Maya, and you can see the fury in his face. His sister, the woman who built Thompson Air, treated like a trespasser. "What the hell happened here?" he demands, voice cutting through the silence. Sarah and Greg freeze, their smugness cracking. Marcus turns to them. "You thought my sister, the CEO, doesn't belong on her own plane?" The truth hits like a thunderclap. The pilot, Captain Daniels, pulls up the manifest, his hands shaking as he reads, "Maya Thompson, owner, CEO." Sarah's face goes white. Greg's jaw drops, his bravado gone. In the jet's conference room, Maya takes charge. She faces Sarah and Greg, her voice ice cold. "Explain why you treated me like I didn't belong." Sarah stammers. "We were just following protocol," but Maya cuts her off. "Protocol? Or your own biases?" The room's dead silent. Nobody dares breathe. She turns to Captain Daniels. You stayed quiet. That's just as bad. He's suspended on the spot. Then, to Sarah and Greg, you're fired. Pack your things. Security's waiting. The weight of her words lands like a gavel. But Maya doesn't stop there. She calls a company-wide meeting, laying out a plan to rip out the ROT mandatory anti-bias training, an AI system to catch prejudice, a hotline for complaints. She promotes a young attendant, Lena, who'd apologize to her in the chaos, and gives a nod to a ground worker, Tom, who tried to speak up. This isn't just about today, Maya says, her voice rising. It's about making sure nobody feels like an outsider in my company again. The story doesn't end there. Maya's fight goes viral headlines, Harvard case studies, even a speech in Congress. She becomes a symbol of standing up, not just for herself, but for everyone who's been pushed down. Months later, Sarah writes a public apology, and Maya, in a move nobody expects, invites her to join the anti-bias program, turning a foe into an ally. At her dad's 70th birthday, he toasts her, voice thick with pride. Maya, you showed us power with purpose.